Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to get this interview going because I've been waiting on this one. This is Traci A. Gibson. Tag. She is it. Traci, welcome to the platform.
I'm so happy to be here with your friend.
Girl, listen, we about to have a good time. Today has been a great day.
A really good
First of all, I'm going to shout out your sorority. So shout out to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta because y'all have been with me all day rocking.
Sorority Incorporated. Delta.
Shout out to the Deltas. We're not gonna start that. But yes, y'all have been here today, 11 2 and now 8:30s. And I'm very grateful that you fit me in this very busy schedule.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you ready to get started?
I am.
I know you're a fan of the show. You watch, so you already know what the first question is.
Yes.
Tell me about the first time or a very memorable time that you voted.
Yes. So my first time voting was for Barack Obama's second term.
Okay.
So I was in high school when he first ran. So I was very sad that I didn't get to vote for him the first time, but I definitely voted for him the second time. But the more memorable civic engagement for me voting started in the 2016 primary.
Okay.
So that was Bernie versus Hillary. And that was a big primary. It was the first time I even heard about a primary.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the talk of the town. I was in law school. So I was in my second year of law school at the time, and we were all debating about the issues and were you Bernie, were you Hillary? And I think this was before the word progressive got, really rolling, right? But I have always been a progressive. So I voted for Bernie. And that was, I felt very empowered. Of course, voting for the first Black president for the second time was also a beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely.
A very beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
But having, a decisive, like I get to make a decision for something was very powerful as well. And so, but then he lost.
He lost the nomination.
He lost the nomination, and that was tough. But then I showed up again in the general, and I voted for Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
And then she lost. And then the next time comes around, we have Beto. Mm-hmm. And everyone's excited. It's 2018. Yes. Energy is around. Midterms, right? But still didn't know that was the word, right? All I knew. And see, that's the thing about voting, especially when you're young. It's like if there's like these races I'm talking about were super. Everyone's talking about it.
Galvanizing.
Right. Like it wasn't, this is a gubernatorial race. I never heard that word until I got into this process. But it was like Beto was something fierce. Mm-hmm. And so we're all talking about that again. I had just passed the bar, just started my own law firm, and I voted for Beto. And then he lost. Mm-hmm. And so that was like the first 3 elections of my civic engagement lifetime were back to back to back losses.
Yeah.
And that was just like, my mom had always just told me vote in November. Mm-hmm. She had never told me about a primary. She had never told me about anything outside of that. And most of my friends thought, and people still think that elections are only 4 years.
Yeah.
They don't know about midterms. They don't know about gubernatorial races. They don't know about special elections and runoffs and all of it. Like you're pretty much voting several times a year sometimes. Yeah. And people don't have that information. So that was the most memorable portion of my voting history was at the very beginning.
At the very beginning. And people don't know. And that's why I do this to help people understand civic engagement better, to understand the various roles that are on the ballot and the people whose names are on those ballots too. But you're absolutely right. Like people just don't know.
Yeah.
I think I know because I'm kind of addicted to it.
Yeah. And that's what I've learned being in this, what I would say is a silo. Mm-hmm. It's like you're here now and my whole algorithm has changed now that I'm running. It used to be a mix of this and a mix of that. But now it's like all Democratic things. Mm-hmm. But my friends, their algorithm is completely different. Yeah. And so if you're not constantly, like I can keep up with everything happening on the US floor, everything happening in the Senate race because you're on my timeline. Yeah. Black Girl Who Brunch is on my timeline. Yeah. Everybody's on my timeline. But I'm having to educate my friends to keep them up to date on what's happening. And so it's like, we have to think, how do we reach people outside of this bubble?
Outside of the bubble. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because it seems, and I see it all the time as someone who is in the bubble, but who lives outside the bubble.
Right.
Right. I see it all the time where leadership thinks everybody's supposed to know, and they just assume. And I'm like, but no, baby, they don't know. We have to do this outreach.
Yeah.
And it's true, whether it's party, whether it's community organizations, you know what you know. I know when I first met you, it was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was campaign time, but it was a presidential campaign. And we were working on GOTV efforts and mobilization, but the focus was November.
Yeah.
The focus was November. And for a lot of people, that's all they know.
Yeah.
They know that first Tuesday in November.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And if somebody doesn't get the amount they need, they don't know that they need to come back.
Yeah.
That's why the turnout gets lower and lower and lower. We saw that in the special election, especially the one that just happened.
Oh, girl.
For
dismal numbers.
5.6%.
Dismal.
5.6%. And we're talking about the Senate district, in Tarrant County. And it's like, yeah, they flipped that. But here home, less than 25,000 people showed up for this race with millions of dollars poured into it.
Am I doing the interview? Because no, I'm absent. Because it's like, I'm ready to be like, and I just had to remember, no, you're working. You're guest. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we have to really take a hard look at ourselves, because people were complaining they didn't know which maps were applying, and we think because we know, we've talked about redistricting, we've talked about gerrymandering for Linton, but the average person needs digestible, clear, concise, immediately accessible information. They do not want to sit through hour-long, as a lawyer, you're a lawyer too. We specialize in the big words.
The big words.
But when you go to trial, it's like you have to make sure that people can understand.
That it's connecting with the decision makers.
Exactly. And I think we can do a better job. I'm not saying we're not doing it and that we haven't done it. It's just we can do more. We can do better.
So you ready to litigate this race?
I wouldn't say I'm ready to, billable hours. I'm gonna litigate for free.
But I mean, you have your decision makers, you have voters.
Yeah.
And your voters are not just the voters during the election, they are your constituents after.
Absolutely.
So let's get to the questions.
Okay.
Oh, this is good. What are your top 3 priorities when you become Harris County Democratic Party chairman?
So number 1 is winning in November.
Okay.
That's the absolute most important first thing that we're doing is we have to win. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that we mobilize people. Mobilization. Okay. So, we have to start organizing immediately. And that starts March 4th. Soon, because, the election is March 3rd. We're getting started. I'm not going to take any break. And then, of course.
No, you're going to take a break.
Okay, I know you're going to make me take a break.
You're going to have to breathe. I mean, you're not a robot. You're younger.
Yeah.
But you're not a robot. So you have to take care of yourself. So you can say, I gotta tell everybody who's sitting in this chair, I'd be like, are you getting your rest?
Yeah.
Whether it's on camera or off camera. All my guests will tell you that. Mayor Parker was here last week. Letitia Plummer was here. Abby. Today I had Audrey. I was like, make sure you drink your water and rest.
Yeah.
Marvelette, it's the same thing because I care about all of our leaders.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to take some rest.
And I was just posting about this. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So I need to practice what I preach.
Yeah. And it's tough because you know how to take care of other people, but don't forget about the number 1 person.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Thanks.
Right? Stop calling me mom. Okay. So you got mobilization. So March 4th.
Instantly start mobilizing.
Okay.
And that includes coalition building, making sure that everybody in the democratic ecosystem understands how we're moving forward.
Okay.
So here's the plan from March to June. Because I wouldn't take office until June. And then what's the GOTV looking like up until the election? That includes fundraising. So how are we going to create a systematic apparatus that is able to ensure that we're getting the resources needed for that coordinated campaign? Because the coordinated last year, it didn't.
Okay.
We know we lost a lot of judge seats.
Yes.
A lot of judge seats.
A lot.
And especially when your judges are the ones who are funding a lot of the coordinated campaign, they need to see an ROI. They need to see some return.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fill in those precincts so that we can have more precinct chairs.
Okay. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm okay. Ooh.
Yeah. So we have 1,172 precincts. Less than half of them are filled right now. 576. we need to make sure that we have enough boots on the ground to get messaging out. That's another big thing, is how do we push the right message, like a multiracial, a multi-ethnic, a multi-generational
language,
a multilingual message. You know, like that's super important. Like people need to have this information easily accessible, and it has to reach their specific community. Like we say we're the Big Tent, right? I feel like the Republican Party has one agenda, 2 items: whiteness and wealth. Oh, wow. Those are the 2 things. Everything that you see them doing, it's going to fall in one of those 2 categories. Immigration, you know what category that falls in. Privatization of all of our governmental entities, how they're breaking those things down. Doge, all of that is going to fall into one of those 2 categories. Meanwhile, we have Hispanics, and we have Blacks, and we have Asians, and we have LGBTQ. We have all of these different communities under our umbrella, and the messages are going to look the same for all of them. And I think that's one of the things that the Democratic Party could have done better last year. Instead of sitting down 2 marching orders, 2 items, you know, immigration and abortion, that's not going to transcend every community the same, you know? So we have to say, what's our overarching message? And it cannot be anti-Trump. That is not enough.
It's not the selling point.
It's not the selling point. It has not worked. People have survived Trump once, right? Like, and it's like, we have to understand that even with what's happened in Minnesota, we know that's terrible.
Yes.
But people don't feel the imminency. It doesn't feel like it's right here. You still Sunday fun day last Sunday. You know, like you're still going to church, you're going to work. Everything is
definitely going
close to you. You know, I know you're going to church. I know you're going to church.
And I'm going to work. Because I love what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't feel like it's absolutely affecting them right now. And so that's what makes it hard for the anti-Trump rhetoric to pierce, you know, the veil. So it's like, what we need to be focusing on more is, why should people be pro-Democrat instead of why you should be anti-Trump? We already know he's a racist. We already know he's a rapist. We already know that he's tearing down the government. People know that. And yet people still voted for him. So what's our message to say? We are the party of the people. You can depend on us. We're here affecting your lives. We want to make sure that we're seeing you more than just in October before we get out the vote.
Yeah.
We're actually going to help you. It's like, for the party to be ran by a lawyer, we should be doing free legal clinics. We should be, instead of just partnering, going into a church in October to parade candidates, they're like, Willard, well, you have social justice ministries.
Don't talk about social justice ministry now. I'm sensitive about our ministries.
I'm just saying there are things we could be doing that are more, but the authentic engagement, right? To where people say, oh, I saw the Democratic Party when my kids went to school and they did that back to school drive. I saw the Democratic Party when it was Thanksgiving and they were giving out these type of canned goods. I saw the Democratic Party at Christmas time. I saw the Democrat, like, we need to be integrating ourselves as a key community member, a key stakeholder, so that people trust us. People trust Shape Community Center.
They do.
You know, like, people trust the NAACP. They trust these entities that have been longstanding and that are doing more than just asking them for something. They're giving back to them. And so that's the type of Democratic Party that I feel Harris County needs to win, and needs to do just to be in the community more. I think that'll get us the results that we want.
So the visibility, I think that's what I'm hearing.
Visibility, accessibility, all of those things. Yeah.
All the T's.
Yeah.
All right. So visibility, availability, mobilization. So I think those 2 fall under mobilization, right? What's your second thing that you want to do?
Fundraising.
Yeah. And the third thing?
And the third thing, I feel like we talked about a million things right there.
So you said it outside. Yeah. So that was it. The coordinated campaign. All right. So I know you're young.
Kind of. I'm 33.
This girl could be calling me mom, and I'm like, she's just gonna make me be a teen mom. Like, but okay, daughter. I'm like, you're my little sister. She's like, mom, but I appreciate it.
You're always giving me good advice.
Well, thank you. Because someone gave me good advice. And I believe we pour into people and we pull people up.
Yeah.
We don't leave people behind. Yes, Sankofa. Yeah. So as we prepare for early voting on Tuesday.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. We have 10 days of early voting, the 17th through the 27th. What do you think is the most pressing issue right now for you to focus on between now and Tuesday?
So making sure I reach as many voters as possible. That's the main thing. I'm about to put out a lot of educational content so that people understand I'm at the bottom of the ballot. I'm very last. That people understand, hey, the polling locations are out. where you can go anywhere, go ahead and find your location, making sure that people have a voting plan. You know, that's super important. But I think, you know, name ID is something that it takes time to build, right? This is my very first race, which I'm super excited about. But making voter education is one of my biggest points, and making sure people are able to understand who I am, what I stand for, and that they should vote for me. That's the most pressing thing. Reaching as many people as possible.
As many people as possible. Yeah. So as we get to the 17th, we have those 10 days of early voting. You know, God forbid, Lord, please don't let it happen. There's another storm.
Oh my goodness.
In the midst of it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know from you, will you have an emergency preparedness plan?
I actually went to the boot camp for the precinct chairs. I'm preparing that. So I actually do have one.
You know, because that's important.
Yeah.
For voters to know that there's still some hope for them with voting. I think our county clerk did a marvelous job with getting that information out early with the storm and being mindful of safety. You know, thank God the storm wasn't as bad as first expected.
Yeah.
But to know that we have leaders with that type of thought, you know, a forethought, to consider the voters.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Houston Justice and Pure Justice, for suing, you know, filing so that we could get those days made up.
That was
for voting.
Amazing.
It was.
I was like, I wish I could have helped on that.
And you know what? Those are young people.
Yeah.
Those are young people doing that work.
Thinking outside the box.
And you know what I appreciate about you and Darrell and Sasha and Ro, young leaders, is you're not waiting for permission.
Yeah. You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can wait forever. You know, you're not
Yeah.
waiting for permission. And I think that generationally, there's some gaps there.
Yeah.
How will you bridge those generational gaps? What are some of the things that you will do to close those gaps between, say, we have the silent generation, the baby boomers, Gen X, the Zennials, because I'm a Zennial, the millennials, Gen Z. Like, what are you going to do to bridge those relationships?
So I definitely am really big on bridging the gap between information and innovation. And that's like where you have our elders, seasoned leaders. When I was president of Houston Lawyers Association, I would always say to our past presidents, a tree cannot grow without roots. We need your knowledge. We need the information. So basically telling our seasoned political leaders, seasoned precinct chairs, like, hey, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like, no one's trying to move you out. We definitely want all of the details, but we need to start succession planning. We need to start making sure that a new generation is up and coming and learning from you and able to carry the torch, you know, passing the torch. But also we have to go mobilize this new constituency. There's an entirely new group of young voters who are angry about 2024. They had their first political heartbreak. Like I had 3 back to back. And they want to know how they can have an outlet. And, you know, right now TikTok is what they have, but the party should build an infrastructure. I'm going to build an infrastructure that allows us to reach them consistently, going out to where they are. That's the biggest thing, right? Meet people where they are and bringing them in. So right now, I've been doing a college tour, making sure that I'm going to TSU, U of H. I'm about to go to Rice and make sure that we're getting students, I don't want to say kids, students registered to vote. And when we registered them to vote, I just was over there about a week ago. And I was like, yeah, so make sure you vote in March. They were like, wait, I thought it was in November. And I was like, well, let me tell you about this thing called primary. Yeah, you heard of, you know, the easiest way to say it is you heard of Crockett and Tellerico. Yeah. They have heard of that, right? But they're thinking that that's in November. And it's like, no, that's in March.
That's
and
in March.
Democrat versus Democratic March, then the Democratic wins versus the Republican in November, right? And so we need to be doing things that actually bring young people out. A meeting is not going to be it.
No.
A 2-hour meeting talking about
way across town,
like it's not
at 6 p.m.
Sometimes you're gonna have to have that happy hour. Yeah, that brings.
You're gonna have to do different things. Get creative,
right? You're gonna have to get creative. Find ways to build camaraderie because people have to buy into a vision. They have to say, okay, I actually feel like I belong here. I like being here. I want to make this ecosystem work. I want to be a part of this. But if we don't have that culture where people feel like I can contribute here. My voice is going to be heard here. I'm going to be listened to. I'm going to be guided or mentored. Then why would they participate? So we need to create that atmosphere where young people have a space and a place to have their own agenda.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking to students at TSU and U of H about is what is the Gen Z agenda? Mm-hmm. Because you can't talk to them about Medicaid when they're still on their parents' health insurance.
No,
you can't talk to them about housing crisis.
Medicaid.
Exactly. Like they're renting. I mean, they're not even renting. They're in a dorm. I'm renting. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like their issues are different. And that's what I meant by having a multi-generational message. Is like, how can you buy into this message right now? And what your needs are going to grow, right, as you get older. But what do you need from us right now? And what they're really scared about is the job market. Yeah. You know, like right now, it's like economics. That's what they want to talk about, especially young women when they just poured out and said that half of the professions that are women dominated are no longer professions. People who are going to get nursing degrees, they're scared right now. Cutting off their Pell Grants, their loans with the big ugly bill, they're scared right now. And that's what they want to talk about. So we have to talk about the issues that matter.
Meeting people where they are.
And not just saying that in theory. It sounds good, like people over politics. Yeah. You know, you hear these sayings all the time, but
you want to see it at play. You want to see it at work.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see. Carisha. She said, I think the 1172 went up. Okay, well, good. It should. Yeah. I know when Congressional District 18, the water's good. Shout out to Black Girls Who Brunch. This is Erica's favorite water. And so it was on sale. And I was like, let me get this Avion. But when Congressional District 18, when Congresswoman Sheila Jackson, the Queen, when she passed away, that's when many of us learned about the number of vacancies, you know, and how few precinct chairs would even be involved in that vote.
Selecting that,
selecting who would replace her on that November 2024 ballot.
Right.
So I think it's critical that we talk about it and be honest about it. So I'm glad that you pointed out precinct chairs as well as Carisha has here.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of work to do in that area.
Yeah. And I think we have to be strategic about it. Like I was saying at the forum this past weekend, where the structure we have right now to even find precinct chairs is very limiting. It's like there's one vacancy chair for each congressional district. And then they're charged with either people just apply, which is great, or you're supposed to be finding people. And it's like, but you know, the way our congressional districts are set up is like I am in CD38. And I'm in the loop. And that goes all the way north. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know anyone that lives north. If I was in charge of finding a precinct chair to fill somewhere up north, I wouldn't know anyone, right? But if we took those same community stakeholders that are already trusting the community, if we went to Will, we went to Luke, and we said, hey, everybody pull up the website, check and see if your precinct has a precinct chair. Now I've mobilized, I have 300 to 400 people in the room who can look right now and check. Is there a precinct chair? Would you want to be a precinct chair if it's empty? Would you want to be a precinct captain? Because I feel like we need to double up in these precincts, right?
Yes.
And if we went to NAACP, we went to LULAC, if we got all of the D9 sororities and fraternities together at one time, mobilized 300, 500 people at one time and said, everybody, look, are you represented? And if you're not, apply.
Somebody step up.
Exactly. And these are already groups that are meeting on Saturdays, your urban leagues, your LULACs. These are already ambitious people who are willing to volunteer.
Come out on a Saturday.
You know what I'm saying?
Put on clothes and go to a meeting.
Exactly. Like who are engaged already at the local level or about their community. And so these are the people that you don't have to train to be ambitious. They already have the character traits that you want, right? Yes. So we just have to train them to do the work. And so I think if we start maximizing our resources, which is what I want to do, building this network of people, it will be so much easier than trying to do one at a time. Like I feel like we can fill these in 3 months if we just use that type of strategy. Very quickly.
Heard.
Okay.
Yeah. Received.
That's what I'm saying. Like we all have these networks that are just we're not tapping into.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. So we talked about bridging. And precinct chairs. Shout out to Carisha again on that. Carisha used to work for the party, but
I know. Another young person. I
think our labor, what I'm seeing, and I'm not young like that anymore, but what I'm seeing is your labor is good enough. Don't you dare have a voice.
Crazy.
And some audacity. Because it's who you think you are.
Who do you think you are?
Where you come from. We don't, you know.
Yeah.
So you've received a lot of that. You've received a lot of that. And I know people are very critical of the 18 to 35 voting block. And they're always talking about what 18 to 35 aren't doing.
Yeah.
Don't do. They don't vote. They, you know, they too busy doing everything else. They don't care. But when I see 18 to 35, I see an opportunity.
Right.
What are you going to do with the opportunity of 18 to 35? Because for our viewers, that's the largest voting block in this country. The largest potential voting block is 18 to 35.
Texas is actually the second youngest state in the country,
behind
Utah. Our median age is 35 years old. So we have the most amount of young people here. So it's like, not only should we be investing resources and time and energy into mobilizing the area, it just makes the most sense to do so, right?
Yes.
Because they're like, right now when we're talking about vouchers and we're talking about the takeover, it's like, whose children are in the schools right now? It's the people in this age block. So it's like, but if they don't know that these things are happening, like they're just learning about it at the PTO meeting and they don't know the legislative portion of it, right? Like they might think this is just a school board change. I don't know. You know, like people aren't tapped in. And so it's like, if we want people to be engaged, we have to meet them where they are. We have to make sure we're capitalizing on it. Like there should be precinct chairs who are 18, who are 20. Right now, you can be an election worker at 16. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Students. I do the election day voting centers, and I always have somebody in high school. You know, you have those high school students. I have students that I teach, you know, that are in dual credit, that are at 16, 17, they're going to work at the voting location. I'd be so excited when they're like, I'm going to be absent on such and such day. And I'm like, me too, child, you know. But I get excited because that means they're engaged. And I encourage them, even if I have to remind them, you know, $17 an hour. Yeah. You know, I remind them that if they don't make decisions as a voter, it's people who are not going to be here, that are going to make decisions that are going to impact them for decades.
And the thing is like, it's irresponsible of us not to try to cultivate this age group, because Greg Abbott is saying he's trying to put a turning point in every high school. Yeah. So what is our counter to that? Right now, they're saying
I think HQ is supposed to be doing some of that.
Okay, period.
I think that rollout.
I'm waiting for it. I'm excited because right now we need to make sure, like, they're trying to brainwash kids into believing their message. Like that, I call it brainwashing. So what is the counter to it? And how do we make sure not only are we, if we put our own Democratic clubs in high schools, how do we connect the pathway and the pipeline? That cannot be missing. High school needs to connect to college, and college needs to connect with the county Young Dems. Harris County Young Dems is a very active and vibrant group, but they do not get the same resources as many other clubs, especially, or attention as many other clubs in the party as they should. And it's like, because we say, oh, well, they don't vote. And, oh, well, we need young, it's the hypocrisy, really, right? Yeah. Like we say, oh, we need young people. We need you to step up. But then when you have someone young step up, it's, oh, wait. Yeah. Not like that.
Not like that.
Or wait, there's an imaginary line. You got to wait in that first. Oh, wait, you have to bend the knee first. It's all of these stipulations. And it really makes someone say, you know what, I have better things to do.
Yeah. And that's where we lose people.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to use the big O. We oppress them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very isolating when you have great ideas, you have innovative ideas, you have new ways to reach people, you know how to get more people out, you know what it takes. Like, let's have a big block party. Let's have a spades tournament. Yeah. Let's get people out. Let's have things that culturally bring people out. Like,
and various communities do different things, but the aim and the message is the same.
Yes. Exactly. That's the thing, is like, yes, phone banking and block walking tools. They do not reach every community the same way. No. And so if we keep trying to make the same things we've been doing that we've seen can kind of work, but they aren't innovative, we have to try something.
Because if you phone bank me, it's going straight to voicemail. Hello. Because do not disturb is a real thing.
Or I might give you 2 minutes and I'll listen to you.
No, my do not disturb is.
Oh, I know. I have to call you 3 times to get in here.
It's going straight to voicemail. You know.
Yeah.
I love this, Trace. Like your vision is just so, to me, promising and encouraging. You know, I teach political science courses, particularly federal government, Texas government. And people think that these subjects, civics, is being taught in the public schools at a high level.
It's not.
Like it may have used to been 30, 40, 50 years ago. I won't even say 30 years ago. I would say maybe 50 years ago. Maybe like in the 70s, it was taught at a much higher level, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a good friend the other day, and they shared with me that my state rep sponsored legislation
to make civic engagement a part of the high school curriculum.
Yeah, to make it a part of the high school curriculum here in Texas. So shout out to Jelana Jones,
yes.
House District 147, you know, but people don't realize that that's not something that's in the schools, but we also have to shift from thinking that everything is given in schools. Right. And mom and daddy, y'all got to have some of these conversations.
Hello.
And you got to practice. You got to show them. Did you used to go vote with your mom and get the sticker when you were a kid? No. See, and people think that's everybody's experience.
Yeah, no.
And it's not.
And that's what I'm saying. My mom is a poll greeter. She works at a constable's office, and she just said November. Vote in November. We all don't you? She'll call me. Have you voted yet? In November. So general election, I'm gonna show up. But what about the primary? And now we're talking about that. And I asked her, Mom, why didn't you tell me about the primary? And she was just like, yeah, I thought you knew. And I'm like, see, that's a part of voter education, right? Because what are we as a party going to do when there isn't a sexy race at the top?
Yeah.
When there's not a Crockett versus Teller.
Yeah.
When there's not a Beto at the top. When it's not a Bernie versus Hillary. How do we get people to stay engaged or to understand the cycle of elections? 2 years, 4 years, off cycles, the mayor versus this versus that. Like, how do we get them to understand that and understand how this directly impacts their lives?
Yeah.
That's important. What we need to be talking about.
Yeah. And not every city votes in November, their general election. I mean, they do for federal elections. But I remember during the pandemic, leading a petition on change.org for the Pearland election to be moved from May or Brazoria, somewhere out there, either Brazoria or Pearland, but for it to be moved from May to November.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was too confusing.
Yeah.
You know, I think Missouri City, I think their municipal may have used to been off like that too. Okay. So you have elections going on, like you said, all the time. But how do we communicate that?
Right.
How do we get that in front of people? Is it a mailer and we say, hey, put this on your refrigerator?
Listen, don't mail me nothing.
How long does it take to check your mail?
What? My mailbox has people from the last whoever lived in my apartment 4 years ago. Like their stuff is still in my, if it's not Amazon, I've got Amazon lockers. If you want to mail me something, send it to my mom's house.
Send it to Amazon.
Send it to Amazon locker, send it to her house. Like, I'm a paperless house.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, how do we get this information out? You know?
Yeah.
I think it's critical. All right. So I gotta ask this question. You have gotten so much critique. You have had people who's never spoken to you talking about you. Baby, you got some fans out there, girl. They some fans. They some fans. They say your name in rooms. And you know what it does? Because someone told me this. They said they didn't know who a Traci Gibson was, but they had to go see because somebody was talking about yourself. And now they vote
free press.
Free press.
Free press. That's what I'm saying. Like the anti does not work. It doesn't work the way you think it would be. You could talk about somebody so bad, you make people want to know.
Yeah.
Is she that bad?
Yeah.
And that's the problem with it. You have to talk about your person pro and only talk about them pro. Yeah. Yeah. So
let's talk about Traci A. Gibson. So, you know, I love that your name is Traci A. Gibson.
Like the tag.
Because I'm like, tag, she's it. Yeah. When you said that night, yes. You know, who is Traci? Who are you at your core?
At my core, I am, you know, my favorite thing. I am a Gemini, extrovert, Delta. That is the summary of me. I am a fireball. I am a loving person. I am a leader. I am I'm not saying I'm nice. I'm super nice.
You're not nice.
Am I kind?
You're kind.
That's the okay. Someone was telling me there's a difference between nice and kind.
That was probably me.
Yeah, I'm like, somebody gave me that definition.
Yeah.
I'm kind. But I'm super intentional.
Yeah.
I'm very intentional about everything I do, who I'm around, what I bring into my life. And I'm not a quitter. Mm-hmm. I have grit tattooed on my wrist. I have audacious tattooed on the back of my neck. Like, these are words that I keep very close. I'm an avid reader. I'm a data nerd. That's why I talk about data.
Data all the time. Nerd overload.
I am into the maths. I'm into the sciences. I was a pre-med major before I switched over to pre-law. I was a molecular and cell biology major. I graduated. A nerd. Yeah. I graduated from the Medical Academy at Hightower. So I thought I was going to be an anesthesiologist,
mm-hmm.
So that's who I am. Like, I am super focused. I'm very community driven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for the last decade, I've done things that are like, how are we going to elevate, empower, uplift?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to push the needle for you? You'll hear me say that 1,000,000 times.
I met you while you were working.
You sure did.
I did.
National Bar Association.
And you were like, and get this membership. And what I loved about you, your communications was so consistent.
Yeah.
Will you bring that into this role?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, before me, we probably did a newsletter every other month. I not only was like, we're going to do it every month, we're going to have mid-month newsletters. We're going to almost email you every week. Mm-hmm. But every time we email you, you're going to want to open it. Like, our engagement numbers on the back end was always over 60%. Like, people looked forward to getting our information. And then I'm going to hit you on the digital. I'm going to hit you in the social media. Mm-hmm. You're going to see this post 3, 4, 5 times. I'm going to give you 60 days notice about an event. I'm going to give you 30 days notice. I'm going to send you a text. I'm going to give you something that makes you want to come.
Yes.
But, like, especially with HLA, it was like, how do I build a community that doesn't feel like it's all about legal?
Right.
Like, we started bike riding. We're going bowling. We started First Fridays. Just come kick it with us. Just come hang out with us. Mm-hmm. That's what the party needs.
That's the engagement.
It's the community
and then
part.
You bring somebody with you.
Because you got to tell them about this.
Yeah.
These lawyers, like, HLA used to be seen as an organization that was only for the seasoned attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is 80% under 40.
Oh, wow.
80% under 40. We were hovering over only 100 members for 5 years before I came in. And then
it increased.
The first time in 70 years, we reached 500 members.
Wow.
Over 500 members.
Wow.
We went from having 6 to, I would say, let's say 10 programs. Let's say 1 program a month, which is giving it too much, right? I did 100 programs, over 100 programs in my year.
In 1 year.
With the same board. Because, we our boards overlap.
Yeah.
So the same people who were only doing 6 to 10 programs a year did 100 with me. That's leadership.
Yeah.
That's setting a vision, every year.
And that's getting buy-in.
Because
programs do not run themselves. Events do not run themselves.
But the reason we were also able to do it is because I started very clearly June 1. Our year started June 1, and every other president would have their first board meeting in August. I said, no, we're going to start the first day. But let me tell you this, we're going to run it like a business. Mm-hmm. I know this is an organization. I know it's volunteer, but we're going to run it like a business. We're going to talk about benchmarks. We're going to talk about KPIs. When you're going to submit program proposals for events, because people think they know how to throw an event. They think they know how to put on a program, right? But what is the goal? And I'm going to tell you there's a difference between a goal and an objective.
See, I told y'all data.
Like, there's
like benchmarks, KPIs.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, but people need to understand that is how you move the needle forward. Because you can say, I want to have an event, but if nobody showed up, would it be a success?
Right.
Or do you say, if 30 people showed up, I would feel successful? Now, how do you get 30 people in the room? That now affects your communication strategy. Yes. That now affects your marketing strategy. And when we start moving like that, that is how you're able to have infrastructure come in. That's what I'm bringing to the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Logistics.
Carisha says, Harris County Democratic Party has a bi-weekly newsletter, just a heads up. She was in charge of them for a bit.
They do have a newsletter that could have more information in it that's actually accessible. Because like right now I scroll through it says, oh, there's talking points, but there's no talking points attached. And I scroll down and it's like the most impactful thing for me in it is what are all the events coming up? Mm-hmm. And that can't be like, all I do is I scroll down. to the end and say, oh, okay, these are the events.
So that was the more that you were talking about earlier. We can do more. We can do more. We can be more. And we can succeed better.
Yeah. I'm not saying that things don't already exist. I'm saying that there can be systems and processes in place that makes it run more efficiently.
Yeah. All right. And Francine says, I love that track record. Me too. I love that track record. So we talked about the fans, right? And I've defended you because it pissed me off. It pissed me off because I'm like, the nerve, and this is something I'm very critical of, and that's, I want to go back to the bridge. We are not doing enough. So I want to hear from you on this point. We're not doing enough to reach back and pull someone up. What will you do with that bridge to not just have people in the room and engage, but to not necessarily, oh, this is your mentor, we're going to mentor match, but how are you going to make that mesh and make that, create that space? Here's the better way. Create that space for us to hear one another generation.
Yeah. So I think that one, we need to be having those opportunities. I don't think there's enough opportunities with that as the premise of the meeting, right? Like, let's have a generation to generation talk. That I would be excited to go to something like that. And, you know, maybe that's just me because I'm into this space, right? But how can we make this more exciting? I think that needs to be the thought process. How can we make this something that people want to do? And I think that we always say lawyers love to talk about themselves. I think our elders love to talk about the information, but it's like, how can we make young people want to receive it? And I think that also goes into our seasoned leaders, how they communicate towards us, right?
Yeah,
because
that
sometimes, you know, like sometimes tone, you know, and maybe that goes with us already having in mind what we're going to talk about. Like, what are the key stakes? Like, I've learned a lot about the history of Houston politics, you know, where the bones that are buried and, you know, who these things, right? And it's fascinating to me because I wasn't here 30 years. Well, I'm 33, so I wasn't here 33 years ago, but, you know, not here. But I think we need to be having more conversations. I think we need to be having more events that give us those space. And I'm talking about the community, the camaraderie, the come hang out and just talk. You know, one of the things we did with HLA is we started an oral history project under my presidency because it's like, we're losing the recipes. We're losing the recipes. We're going into this in a position to make the same mistakes. And it's like, that's why these conversations are necessary.
They are.
Yeah.
We're having generation right now.
Yes, we are.
My daughter, Carisha says, if you do generation to generation talk, Jimmy Brown proposed that during one talk that she had with him. So that's great.
Yeah, I think that would be so beneficial.
And he's
a candidate.
A candidate.
Yeah.
I almost said a new leader.
Yeah.
But he is a candidate.
He is.
And I'll have him on in 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. I think a lot of people, especially like our caucus, you know, our caucus, would be interested in having this conversation because there are a lot of people with new ideas who don't want to just go run over someone. Like they want to earn people's trust, you know, but like even with the precinct chairs, I've been talking about like, how do we start succession planning with precinct chairs? Because it's like a precinct chair who's been doing it for 20, 30 years, you clearly have the social capital. You grew up in this area. You maybe raised your family in this area. You've seen everyone around you raise family. You know the grandkids of these people, right? If we bring in someone, you're 70, we bring in someone that's 25. You bring them into the community, say, this is my precinct captain. Give them that social capital. Walk them around to everyone in the neighborhood and say, hey, this is who I'm raising up. This is the next person. I'm passing the baton. And have people buy into this new person, go around. They spend 2 years or a year under you, and then we pass the baton. You know, like
I don't trust them, Tracy.
You should, though.
Why? I don't know them. I don't trust them. I mean, because that's going to be the kind of pushback you're going to get.
Yeah, but
we should be identifying as leaders. Who that person is. So that means we have to get out and get to know our neighbors.
Exactly. But also it's like, it's up to the precinct chair who has that type of pull and that clout in the area to say, no, this is who I've chosen, right? Because people respect, like I was just at Pleasantville yesterday. If Miss Deborah says I'm next, right? Like, and that's what we need to be doing is saying, hey, this is a young person, they're energized, they're gonna help, and that's what the training is. Like, hey, that's Miss Shirley. She's been here 30 years. She do not like dogs on her yard, you know. And that now I know that, right? Like, I didn't know Miss Shirley, but you know. And then you go and say, okay, Miss Catherine, right there, her sons live this way. They come and do this for her on Thursdays, and now you have a connection. And it's like learning that type of institutional knowledge is what we need to have passed on to the younger leaders.
Yes, I love that. And there's a lot of talk around this passing of the baton and the torch, and part of it is because of the losses that we've experienced in our communities, but it's also because time and culture has shifted so much.
Absolutely.
We still need the same outcomes, but the way to get to them have changed.
Yeah.
You know, so being more efficient.
Especially in this new technological world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do things.
It's not enough to put it on Facebook.
Listen, I was just telling you earlier, I am now becoming Facebook friends with people that I've known for 20 years. Like people that I've been in this person's wedding, but I haven't used Facebook in 10 years until I got into this app, this ecosystem. Like I've always been an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok, but like the Democratic Party is like really active.
Harris County Dems are super active on Facebook.
And it's like,
it's still silos.
It definitely, like, especially with all these pages, it's like, if I hadn't got it, I would have never known any of this existed because it doesn't transcend anywhere else.
No,
it doesn't go anywhere else.
It doesn't seek.
I don't see it on Instagram. I barely see the Harris County Democratic Party's page on Instagram. Really, they're just reposting or replying to things. So it's like our digital strategy, our communication strategy is going to have to be upgraded a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to add this to the screen. And thank you all for your comments. And please don't be afraid to like, share, and comment more. We must open pathways for succession if we are to sustain and grow the party and the party's vision.
Yeah.
That's it.
What we were just talking about.
That's it right there. Absolutely. Yes. So Harris County is huge. And I know you have put some miles on that car.
What?
No one can do that. This year.
I don't know. Like, I'm like, the car will tell me when it needs.
Yeah. I mean, because you can put some miles on your car.
Yeah.
Campaigning.
I did one day, the last day before I had to turn in my signatures. We did like 4 hours going from, I live in the middle. I live in the loop. I went to Acres Homes, down to where U of H is, over to Katy, over to Baytown, back to Willowbrook. And it's just, that was the most exhausting day. Probably one of the most exhausting days I ever had. But it was like, I knew I needed to get as many signatures as possible. But the county is huge. Going from Katy to Baytown, that was like almost like a 2-hour drive. Like, that's what it takes to get to Austin. And that's just to get from one side
to the other.
Like, Harris County is larger than 25 states. Like,
it's huge.
That is what is so crazy about it. So it's like, in order for us to have effective governance over a county this big, we have to split it up into quadrants. We have to split it up there. It has to, maybe even more than that. I don't know what you call it.
It might need to be
what do you call more than quadrants? What's 8 quadrants? Something right. Quadrants. So I think we definitely need to have more space being covered because there are areas that don't have clubs, right? So we need to see, like, what does it take to fill these precincts, to get these clubs? Because like, what I'm always talking about is like the pipeline, the pathway. Like, there are precinct chairs and there are clubs and there's the party. Like, and there needs to be a clear
pipeline.
Exactly. So that everyone knows what's the vision and how they are moving the needle forward within this ecosystem together, right? Like, we're all pieces on this chessboard. But we can't act like we're not fighting the same fight or moving towards the same goal. So that's one of the biggest things, like when we talk about coalition building and making sure everything in the ecosystem is working, people have to talk to each other.
They have to talk to one another. Tell us, what has been, it's twofold. What has been the hardest part? No, and be real. Because I know people haven't been kind to you. And so when people are like, such and such is nice, no, they're not. Because you want to treat this baby like this. You know, you would have took under your wings and showed her some things. What's been the hardest part of this campaign for you? Now I'll start with that. Then I'll come with part B.
The hardest part. I would have to say, like, I think the realization of politics being what people say it is. Mm-hmm. I think that has been the hardest part for me to rationalize. It's like when I was president of HLA, it was all positivity. Mm-hmm. You're over a C6, you have this C3, and people will donate and they'll give to you, and you're so wonderful. And you've done all these wonderful things, and you're breaking records, and you're getting leadership recognition locally, state, and nationally. Like, everything is well. The same person a month later running for office, and it's, you are the worst thing in the whole world. And I'm like, that's interesting. It's the politics, they say it's like, it's a dirty game. Mm-hmm. You hear what you hear in the movies, and it's just like,
you can't customize. That's what I say on this time.
I think it's just disheartening how things happen, right? And then it's like, if I say that, if I talk about it, then it's, oh, well, you need to just get tougher. Mm-hmm. You need thicker skin. Like, I think there's some things I just will not normalize.
Don't lose your humanity.
I just can't normalize certain things. And so that has been the most difficult part, is realizing that this is not something that you can go into if you aren't 100% behind your life. If you don't really believe in something, that you want to make a difference in some very specific way, that you're fighting for a community, or if you don't have anything authentic that you're holding on to, this can be a very not fun process. It's like worse than pledging, honestly. Like, I feel like when I win, it would be crossing the burning sands twice.
Okay. Although we didn't pledge.
Right. Yes,
okay. Right. Now, let me ask you this. What has been the greatest joy for you on this campaign trail?
Meeting people like you.
Oh,
yeah.
But we didn't meet on this trail.
We didn't meet on this trail.
But you met people like me.
I have met really great people. Like, people who have made me feel and believe that I do have a place here.
Yeah.
Because there are people who in the Democratic Party have tried to make me feel like I don't have space. Like, there is no space for me. And in the name of democracy is the craziest thing, right? Like, I thought this was supposed to be the party of the people. Like, but okay. But like, I have met some really amazing people who I know with given a better ecosystem could really shine. Yeah. Could take up more space, right? And so meeting people with great intentions who are doing great work in whatever space they're in, that has been very beneficial to me.
I want you to know there are so many people that believe in you and that want to see you shine and win. They like you. They say things like, I've had a couple of people tell me, because of the fan club talking about you so much, they wanted to know who you were.
Yeah.
So there are people who are watching you quietly, but saying your name out loud in rooms.
I am so grateful for that.
Be reminded that God is with you.
All the time.
All the time. Amen. But just know that for yourself, that He is with you. So whatever the outcome is, God has a plan for your life. Bigger than Harris County Democratic Party chair, bigger than being an attorney, bigger than being the woman of a very nice looking and very kind gentleman. Yeah. That's what made me so, it gave me because I am like a mama bear to you, but it gave me an exhale when we were at one of your fundraisers. Her man stood up, because we were all talking about how we knew Traci. And it was a room full of folks, probably about 60, 75 people. And he was like, "That's my lady." And I know when my man say that, the way it makes me feel. And you just like something, you just went to the giggle. But it was so genuine, and I knew you were safe.
Yeah.
I knew you had a place of refuge in Him.
Yeah.
I knew you were supported. He spoke maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So shout out to Traci's man, her man. because that is really important.
Yeah.
It's really important to have. And when I talk to candidates or people who are seeking office, I ask them, who is your safe place? Where's your safety? Because that's going to be important. That's going to be important because this is hard and people are mean and your feelings are going to be hurt. People are going to be messing with you for no other reason than they offend.
Yeah.
Right. And we saw, and this is a grim joke, but like Selena, she was killed by a fan. So your fans, sometimes fans they're so crazy that they will destroy you. So I just want you to know how proud of you I am. And I'm so happy that you got that man, honey. Because we all need someone that is our shelter.
He's a human battery for me.
He's a human battery.
He's a human battery charger. Like as soon as I come home, he's just he's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm being honest. Like I was like, oh, she gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Because I know they be beating your butt on this campaign trip. She's laughing and she's so put together all the time, and she's brilliant. She's highly intelligent. She's a nerd's nerd, if that makes sense. Like Traci is. Y'all heard what she was majoring in?
Yeah, molecular and cell biology.
Yeah.
Then I switched to poli-sci, double minor, business, African studies. Fit 5 years in 4.
Okay. What's your GPA in law school?
I don't know. We're past that.
We're past that. But my point is she's brilliant and she knows where she's going. She knows who she is. And I can't say this enough. Tag, she is it. This is Traci A. Gibson. And the pretty professor, even though y'all didn't have to guess or ask, endorses her. I endorse you as our next Harris County Democratic Party chair because you have it. You have it together. And I hope that party leaders will either step up and help you or step back and get out of the way so that those of us who want to champion not just you, but that want to champion this party and this county forward can have room to do so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue to pray for you.
Thank you.
And I'm quick to send a scripture.
I'm about to say you always
or be like, big sis, I need you to pray for little sis.
Yeah.
I put her in a group with one of my prayer warriors.
I need some holy oil.
Listen, they better use that oil. That's some good oil. But I really encourage you all to support Traci in this upcoming campaign. If you are a Democrat or you're going to be voting in the Harris County Democratic Party primary, she's going to need your vote. She's going to need you to share her page and all the other good things. But this young lady is our future. So you get on the train now or you can get on it later, but I would tell you to get on it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What parting words do you have for the people?
Y'all, I am just super excited about this race. It is time for us to energize. Like that is the key that I'm always saying. It's time to energize, mobilize our base, and expand it. So I am going to make sure we have year-round fundraising, year-round organizing, good messaging that makes sure that it can transcend every level of each community. And it's time to win. That's all that we're focused on. It's time to win. In November, in March, I am ready to lead the Democratic Party.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Traci A. Gibson. Tag, she is it. And we hope you will get out and vote, not just for her, because she'll be at the bottom of the ballot.
Last race on the ballot.
Last race. But vote for the best candidates. And if you need help with understanding the ballot, you can always reach out to us at prettypettypolitics at gmail.com, and we will assist you. If you have any questions about what does this position, what are their responsibilities, how does this work?
Well, if you wanted to see that, I actually have that on my website. I'm the only candidate that has a website. So you can go to traciagibson.com and you can go to about, and then I have the role. So you can learn more about what the Democratic Party chair does.
And where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Vote Traci on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
With an I.
With an I. Oh yeah, Traci.
With an I.
Your favorite attorney is my personal Instagram.
Yay. Yeah. Well, we are happy to have her tonight. We are thankful for all of you who tuned in tonight, and those of you, because you know y'all like to play them games and watch afterwards. But I see the numbers on the back end. So thank you all so much. And if you have any questions, or if you would like her to come speak to your group, or you want to donate to her, you can do so at traciagibson.com. All right, that is our time, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. Goodbye.